You know, sometimes in life we find out that people don't always share, but if you get to know people and you talk to them, there's always a way to support and to help and encourage. And that even sometimes, even at my age, every once in a while you need some encouragement. And that's what the commitment does, that you're committed to do those ideals, those principles, to set a standard, to say who we are, that we are a sisterhood founded on Christian principles. And that's very important. Well, my name is Joyce Harrington, Joyce Johnson Harrington, and I went to Livingstone College where I pledged Delta in 1960 and to the Beta Kappa chapter. 65 years now. Spring line. Just was fascinated by the Deltas on the campus. No, on the campus they have like a day where all the Greeks perform and do. And just to listen and see and hear them, I thought, oh, I like that red and white. And then I thought, oh, I think I'd like to do that, even though I had heard about only one other sorority. Growing up, I didn't know that much about them. So then I set out to find out what you have to do. When time came, and we wrote my little letter, and lo and behold, they said, you can join the Pyramid Club. And then I got nervous. I think one of the things that happened to us when we were online is that we had to go to the library every day, every evening. And the big sisters would watch and monitor, and we had to do our homework. And that's what helped us keep our average up. And so we thought we were the smartest group on campus. I was excited to be with a smart group. And so I was really excited because now I could watch and observe and watch young people and tell them it's important to study, to use the library, instead of just hanging out on campus. The Reverend Aldridge, who was the librarian at my college, and she was a Delta, and she showed me and extended the thing of what sisterhood is really like. When I couldn't go home for holidays and travel because we just didn't have the funds, I could stay at her house. And when I graduated, she invited my mother, came down, and she let her stay there. And for every holiday, I could stay at her house. And I was treated like her daughter. And always there were opportunities. I think she was responsible for me getting a Delta scholarship while I was there. And having a job every summer in a different city, in a different state. And being able to make enough money to come back to college and pay tuition. And so I always remember her, and I have a play sister who I stay in contact with now. And we always remember her and talk about her. And consequently, I got to work in the library as the library where the ministers all would get their books and travel. So I got to know a lot of ministers and people in education. So it always stands out, but what they did for me, I have to do for somebody else. Buffalo Alumni Chapter, before it was Buffalo Alumni Chapter, we were Gamma Kappa. So I've been in both, and I've had the opportunity, as I said to somebody, I think I might have been the only person for a long time that held both the treasury in both chapters, and it was a great learning place, a great leadership building place. Just holding positions within the sorority, it helped to build that I can do it, I'm good at this. If I'm not good, I know how to go get help, and I know how to go get support, and it's the thing that you can some kind of need, because you come into situations in life that you were never exposed to. But then when you're in the group and in the sisterhood, you get to experience things, and if you watch and observe and you're not afraid to try new things, it'll work, because somebody will give you that helping hand, tell you when you should do or not do, and do it in a gentle way. Yeah. Probably one of the greatest things that happened was when we were doing probably Embody, and I was principal of a school. We had a team, and we had a workshop with 200 young men in Buffalo Public Schools came out, and it was extremely successful. And to see them grow and become interested, and to look at the evaluations they wrote, it was like somehow we touched some lives. Maybe not all of the 200, but I thought that was a great achievement, because we weren't always kind of focused on the boys and young men in the chapter. And I thought that's one of the things we have to support our brothers. We have to support the young men growing up, and we have to encourage children, all children, boys and girls, but especially boys. I taught special ed for a long time. I taught regular grades, but the majority of my time was with special ed. So you always know that you got to be there, letting them know you can do, and we will help you, but you can do this. It's a good journey, but always you just try to go to those conferences and regional meetings. It's always an opportunity to learn. And I think about Gertrude Burke. There were some things I never wanted to do, and consequently, traveling with her, I ended up having to do them. They say so. I said, "Oh, I didn't really want to do that," but what happened was, it gave me more experience to reach out and to do a job, and somebody asked me, and she's probably one of the, I'm going to think about talking about her, one of the, probably the kindest, most helpful sister. When you're even not even thinking about it, you can say, I can remember not having a gown for a Delta dance. And they said a white gown. I thought, I can't afford that. Do you know she made one for me? And it was a surprise, but she did things like that. And then she was going to make sure that I learned how to go out and do training. but those are things that if you hang in there, get to know your sisters and work with them, they will help you to grow too. Because we all need to grow. Don't be afraid to take positions, and know that you can learn and that you can grow, and you take it one step at a time. And that's one of the things great about the sisterhood. You have support. You have someone you can lean on. We still talk about leaning on that shield. Yeah, even now it's something I'm doing at church. I thought, wow. It's a network of talent and skills that you can tap into. And try it, Even if you're busy, you can find that one thing you can do that you share, that you give, and you're going to discover that you have talents and skills that you never thought you had.